Good evening. My name is Ahmed Mahmoudi. I'm a last year student at UM6P and I love athleticism and I'd love to chat with you guys.
I'm Fatem Zara Al-Haddadi, third year digitalization and industrial process here in UM6P, specifically the Gear Tech Institute department. And I like many things, which one of them is reading, and that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, hello, I'm Malek Bahloul. I'm a second year student in Industrial Operations and Digitalization at JTE department. And I'm really excited to be here today to talk about a book which is very exciting for us and so important for students in our age.
Sweet. Let me tell you the story of how I got into the book. So I'm an athlete. I run 100 meters and 200 meters races. And I played the national championship back in 2013. And then I got sick and I stopped for about 6 years and I had to come back again to train. And I had to compete with the people that I used to compete with 6 years ago. So I needed to do something to catch up with their level. And that's how I landed in this book, because I needed to see how I can change the habits that I do to reach the things that I need to do. Yes. And I resonate a lot with this because the author and I have a little bit of the same kind of the story and stuff.
Something in common.
Yeah, I'm excited to know how you got into this.
For me, I landed on this book based on a desire that I wanted in myself, which is changing my life, and not basically my life. You know that phase when you go like, my life is really down, I really need to change it. And you get to start a little research and you find out that your life is basically your habits. Your entire life is basically you who program it. So we are like computers, and we should and habits is just like the algorithm to get into our minds. So we should change it. And then I find the book Atomic Habit that explained the concept really deeply. And really the name, you can see the atomic habits. It's really tiny that shape your entire life.
The building block of life is atoms, so atomic habit is maybe something that's going to build you up to be something.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Cool. What about you?
Okay, for me, I love reading books about personal development because I'm in a phase to develop myself, to grow up, to learn new things about how we live, how we can build relationships, how we can build habits. And I saw in Instagram and TikTok a lot of influencers and people talk about this book, Atomic Habits, and how it changed their life. And I went to it, of course.
Yeah.
Sweet. I actually just landed on some articles talking about how Olympian champions, because they are the top of what I do. So I needed to see what Olympic champions do beside their training. Because obviously I had a good coach and he gave me the training, but I needed something different to stand out from my peers. And I found someone who likes to drink a cup of water early in the morning. And they just had these very weird habits. And one of them just suggested that, go check the book. It has some stuff like that, like the study, not the study, but the story of the cycling team, if you remember. Yeah. Like the cycling team, they just did averagely in their competitions, and then they just had this new coach. And then the coach was...
British team, yeah.
Yeah, right? I think it's a British team. And then the coach just was like, we need to change some stuff. And he believed on the 1% changes are going to be making the difference. Yeah. So when new people come on the team, they're just like, we need to change the whole thing. But this guy was like, okay, we're going to change the little things that you would expect a coach to change, the rhythm, the training, some
like
stuff.
1%.
Yeah, some stuff in the cycle, in the cycling team, something about the bicycles and stuff like that. But then he changed something weird, like teaching them how to clean their hands.
Okay.
And then choosing the type of pillow for them to sleep, and then they take them with them to the hotels. Yeah. So these things that nobody expected.
Yes.
He promised them that they would get the Tour of France, which is Tour de France, which is a big cycling event, in 5 years. He was wrong because they did it in 3 years. And that was just like the thing that got me hooked in the book, because that's exactly what I was looking for. I needed something that are weird, that are not the normal thing to do, but they would give me a lot of things. And I got results. The result that I wanted to do in a year, I did it in a month. So I'm really hooked into this book.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, here we saw that the small things, if we change just the small things, it's lead us to big results.
Yeah.
So that's here we can see that the habits are so dangerous, like how they are so dangerous. So if the things that you do every day are good for you and lead you to the good, so your habits, you are building a good habits. But if they are leading you to a bad ones, so this is really awful.
Yes, as we say, like 1% a day, it's equivalent to, let's say, 100% in 1 or 2 years. So when you are like hooked into something or building something, you should really focus on the small amount that you're going to be building. Don't, let's say, for example, I want to be waking up at 6 a.m. every day, and you sleep till 2 a.m.
Okay.
How you're going to be building, like you're going to be waking up the next morning, the next night and say, I'm going to set my alarm at 10 p.m. I'm going to be waking up at 6. You're not going to be doing it because your brain isn't programmed to that. At first, you're going to get insomnia. Then you're gonna get into that mind trouble of why am I not able to change that. But if you take it as a small habit and divide it every day, let's say every day you switch your alarm by 10 minutes, you make it like today 2 a.m. the after
That's
day.
not 1%, that's like 10%.
Good.
But what you talked about is goals.
Yes.
So, for example, the goal that I wanted to have, and most people, especially in the New Year resolution, that, you start to do this massive goal for your life that this year is this is where you're gonna get everything. And then we can see it in the gym, even at UM6P, like everyone, the first week, second, third week of January, everyone is in the gym, everyone is trying to make themselves good.
Big goals.
But why don't they get and stick with their
Sticking the plan?
Yeah, stick with their plans to achieve their goals.
Yes.
Which is something that he talks about in the book, that winners and losers all have the same goal. Like when we go on a racetrack, every one of the 8 people has the goal of winning. Nobody is there to be the last one.
Yes.
But he talks about how you don't raise up to the level of your goals, but you fall down to the level of your systems.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, have you implemented any systems?
Actually, it's a journey for me. Like personally, it's a journey. I had really the big problem of. Let's take it like for a small example. I had the problem of not waking up early, which is I still have, but I evolved a bit because I knew that when I'm gonna be taking my phone at 1 a.m. In my bed, that's gonna lead me to not waking up early. This is like we say the cue to an habit. The cue is that I take my phone, so immediately I'm not gonna be sleeping at the time that I wanna be. Eventually, I started to be aware of my entire space. Like, let's say when my friends, if they don't sleep early and I stay with them, I'm not gonna be waking up early. So they kind of influence me to not do that. So I had to stay away and control myself to stay with friends till late nights. I don't know, talking or whatever. I have to set my alarm before, so I don't wake up the next morning and I'm say, oh, I did not set my alarm, that was a mistake. And also I do end all the things, like stopping my phone, getting my homework done if there's any, do all the mandatory stuff beforehand. So this is let's say the cue parts. Okay. And then there's the actual habit, that is waking up early. Then I have the result, which is I have the whole morning to do stuff that I had to do in the night. So this leads us to the, let's say, composition of the habit, which are the cue, the habit, and
Craving.
the craving,
Results.
the cue, the habit, and the results.
Yes.
So what do you think about this? Like when a habit affects your, how did you get like a habit in your life, and what was the result on it?
Actually, I will go back to the thing that he talked about, goals and systems. There is a big problem of us. We focus on the goal the most. But the problem here, we say that, like...
I mean, it's the most attractive thing. Like losing 6 pounds, losing
yes,
weight.
but you're given big goals. You are restricting your happiness to this goal. So you're saying, if I lose weight, I will be happy. Instead of you can be happy in the small changes. You can be happy in the process. You are doing it every day. So
you are saying to enjoy the process, not the result
yes,
itself.
to enjoy the process, not the result itself.
I mean, when you link winning with achieving the goal, and the goal is something that is not you, you have two choices, or you set yourself for two options. Either you achieve the goal and then you win, but then you ask, now what?
Yeah.
Or you don't achieve the goal and you feel like a failure, and then that defies the goal of you becoming better.
Yeah.
Which led you to like doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like his story, when he started, he was just in college doing what college do, but he was interestingly had the luxury, we don't have that, is they chose their own classes
The
to
majors.
see, yeah, the majors, to see what they want to study.
Okay.
And in him creating that, he had a sense of control over whatever he wanted to do. But then he started doing these random things, seeing that he is doing a degree to get a good life, but then he saw someone writing on a blog to just travel and go around the world. They have the flexibility and stuff. And he was like, I want to be that.
Yeah.
And then that's when you create the goal. But then when you create the goal like that, you need, the goal is going to give you a direction of where you want to go. But then how will you get there? You can either choose going through motivation and just,
yes.
but that doesn't
a goal,
last.
It stops you. When you achieve that goal, you stop.
Yeah,
but a system, it keeps you going and it keeps you stick with this habit. So here
motivation is really temporary, let's say, because it only lasts like 1 day or two. Let's say 1 month in max, if your goal is too big. But we should not rely on motivation. We should actually rely on discipline, which is when you change your inside for the goal. Like, I want to lose, let's say, weight, but inside I'm not really satisfied with the idea of losing it. So I'm just going to be like, oh, let's eat that today, and tomorrow I'm going to be eating healthy. Today and tomorrow. Only motivation in the beginning, then the discipline, there's none.
Yeah.
So you should focus on that too.
I think that people fall into is what he called the valley of despair. So when you want to, for example, build muscle or lose weight, or me trying to be faster and beat my competition, for example, I go do my training rigorously every day, but I don't really see the effort, or I see the result. I'm putting the effort, no result, and then I just start questioning why I'm doing it if I don't have the good mindset of
you are doing it for something.
Yes, and like the process is there, and it's gonna be something that I'm gonna get, but it's gonna be delayed. So the valley of despair is maybe the reason why people quit going to gym after January, because they come in with the mindset that, hey, this is my goal, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get that. but then the time frame is not as quick as they think it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they just go into despair and then they just quit and then they
Yes.
fall back into their ways, which he talked about you fall back to the systems.
Yes. Here, the authors, he talks about a point that really interested me. He explains 3 layers, which is there is the first layer, which is the outcomes.
Yeah.
The outcomes is what you want to get.
Mhm.
There is the second one is the process, is what you want, what you do to get the outcome.
It's how you get to
And
it.
yeah, and the most important one is the identity, who you want to become.
Yes.
So most of us and most of people focus on the outcome. So if we're gonna go back to the example of losing
you
weight.
Go,
Yes.
yeah,
So if you want to lose weight, it's an outcome. And the process is to go to the gym, eat healthy, etc. And the identity is to become an athlete. So here you should, first of all, focus on the identity, who you want to be. I want to be an athlete, I want to be an artist, I want to be... So if you want to be this, for example, this person or this person, you should do the things that person do
Yeah.
every day.
I have 2 things to say about this. I tried it, it worked, and I tried it again, it didn't work. So let me tell you, I've never been the reader. I don't know if you picked up reading from a very young age, but I've never read a book from cover to cover in one period. I'd always only do it if I have it in class or something like that. Until I went back to running, and I read a book. My first book was something that I read in like a week. And that's when I was surprised that I can actually read books.
Yeah.
So I made my whole identity about reading personal development books because I'm in the personal development era of my life. But then it helped me. I started learning stuff because I enjoyed it and I understood the importance of reading a book, and is that you can download decades of people's experiences in weeks and months in one piece of paper. But then when I tried to do it on other things, I started having multiple identities. I'm the athlete, I'm the runner, I'm the coach, I'm the good son. I had long hair, so I'm the curly head too. But then it started being overwhelming, and I kind of had some sort of an identity crisis. And I think that's one of the things that he doesn't talk about in the book. He's all interested in how the environment is something that you change and how it helps you. But when you talk about the process, the outcome process and identity, it's not as straightforward as he makes it.
Yeah, but here, I think yes, I agree with you, because he didn't go to it. He didn't give a lot of example. Like there is some people stuck with this. They can't be the identity that they want. But it depends on the person. So if you
that's also something that he didn't talk about. He was just like, he generalized.
Yes.
So he was just like, if you do this, you get this.
Yes.
But you know, you're a person different than me. The preferences are different.
Yeah.
So for example, if you give a time for each identity you want to be, I think that you're gonna achieve it. It's not gonna be that hard.
I don't know. I just failed at doing that at my multiple things, and I just either it consumed what I wanted to do, as in I was doing multiple things. I've always been doing a lot of things at the same time, studying, working, having fun, doing a lot of things. And then it started kind of clouding the thing, because when I'm doing this, I'm not doing that. And then I'm like, I always introduce myself as an athlete, but when I got injured, introduce myself as the coach. But then if I say that I'm an athlete and I'm not practicing athleticism because I got injured, and then like when life circumstances get into the way, it was a
little hard to
but
density.
The environment above all. I loved the study that he mentioned that they changed the environment in a clinic, I think, or it was a hospital, and they wanted to see if they can change the behavior of people without telling them that we're doing something different.
Yes, I think it's a restaurant. No.
I think it was a
With
hospital where they changed.
water
Yeah,
and
they just added a lot more water dispensers in the room instead of changing anything or saying like giving zero indications to people. And they saw that people consumed a lot more water than they did before the experiment. And I actually tell that to a lot of my students and a lot of my friends that if you want to do something, the first thing you can control that can help you is your environment. For example, I used to wake up at 5 a.m. to go out for a run, but it was very seamless for me because I slept early. I had my clothing and running ready, and I told people around me that I'm going there. So I changed the environment and I created a sense of guilt if I don't do that thing. So I say something and I need to keep my word. And that made it very easy. And I was also obsessed by winning the competition that I had. So I would wake up at 5 a.m., go out for a run very seamlessly without any complications. And I think it's something that he talks about, about the, like make it obvious or something, right?
Yes, about the
like the laws,
yes. Environment, we should make relationships with them. So, for example, if you have a coach in your room, you make it a place for relaxing or for watching a movie or something like this. If you have your bed, of course, is for sleeping. Your desk is for studying. The kitchen, you're gonna eat, you're gonna cook, you're gonna enjoy discussions with your friends.
Yes.
Okay, so here he talks about we should not present that your environment is just around. You are surrounded with just objects, but make relationships with them.
Yes, and this is like can take another turn if you don't make certain places for certain tasks. Let's say for your room, if you don't make it obvious for yourself that you're gonna sit in the desk and study, you're gonna end up gaming or something like that, or you're gonna end up probably sleeping. So here we should like give an importance to our environments, and this is include not only like objects but also people, as you mentioned that you told everybody. So it's kind of like making your circle aware that you're gonna do that. And also when you live with certain people that don't do certain thing, it's gonna be kind of challenging to hop up on something, another lifestyle and do it. It's gonna be challenging. So we should also consider this when building a habit or building a certain lifestyle or something.
Okay, I got something to say. What if you don't have control or enough control over your environment? Let's say you like reading, for example, and you need a quiet place for you to read. But then you go to, let's just say, your aunt's house, and she has kids, and it's loud, and it's a lot of things happening.
Yes. Well, if it's only like an event that's gonna happen once.
But what if it's your life?
My life. I'm gonna be trying to like make that happen in another place. Like for example, when I go in my house, I have like small siblings. They're literally small, and I need to study and need to do my things. Like I like to relax, have a cup of tea and read or something like that. But my siblings just cannot let me do that. So I had to create like that. I created actually something in the summer. I really like. I was obsessed with the idea that I'm gonna bring my habit here. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And I had to make that thing. Like when I want to read, I make them do something. They're gonna make them productive and make me also productive.
It's smarter.
Yeah. And also when I wanted to implement the habit of walking or running, I would take them with me. So they like implement the idea of being, she's doing that, that's cool, let's do like her. Or when she's doing that thing, like when I'm reading and I make them read too, they know it's a hard task. So they don't like annoy me or something. So it's kind of making your environment aware of what you're doing. As you say, you make them aware of that you're gonna run, so they don't bother you at night. They're gonna say he's probably sleeping.
What was the thing that actually got you very like what stuck with you from the book? What's the one thing that like you read it and you were like, that hit?
Okay, the point that hit me really deeply, like the thing about changing habits, and you should like change it in the inside before the outside. Because when you're not like between you and yourself aware and fully convinced that that habit's gonna change your life, either if you try 100 times, you're not gonna be doing it. Whatever, like either eating good food without junk food, because when you are gonna be building like certain habit like that, you're not gonna be junk food is everywhere. You're gonna just for us students, when you're gonna be lazy to cook or something, I'm just gonna order and something is gonna pass. But when you have like that discipline and that mindset that this is our plan, this is what we're gonna do. No junk food till it's like in the plan or something, then you do it. So that's the thing that really like got deeply into my mind and starting to implement it in my life.
Actually, for me, the first thing is the thing that I talked about is to depend on your identity, who you want to become. So I want to become this or that. And the second thing is a method who mentioned in the book is to write all your habits in a list.
He called it like the habit scoreboard or something.
Yes,
yeah.
And each habit, if it's a bad one for you, you're gonna do minus. And if it's a good one for you, you're gonna do a plus. And if it's like
neutral,
you're gonna do an equal. So I tried this thing, and actually it worked for a while. But I started breaking my bad habits like automatically, so without doing a list every time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also something that stuck with me, which was like the 2-minute rule, where he was like, if you want to do something, just do it for 2 minutes. You don't have to do it for 3 hours. Just do it for 2 minutes. And if you do it for 2 minutes, that's the win. I use that for a lot of things.
And eventually it's going to turn into 3 or 2 hours.
Yes, exactly. And then the habit scoreboard is something that I also tell everyone to try. And it just, you notice good things and bad things. And you trigger the logical part of your side to just say, this is bad, this is good. And then just from noticing the things, it helps you not doing, because you all want to be good for yourself and you want to be better. That's what we do. We just grow. That's what we do. So yeah, I think that's kind of the thing that got with me the most.
I have like a point about this, when like being conscious and aware of yourself. Like I do that. It takes time. So this is like the part that many people fall behind it, that they don't know, and they don't
know their personality,
their personality. Actually, they're not aware of themselves. Like it takes time. This process only takes time to know yourself. It may be a journey, like for.
That's why we should learn about books about personal development and listen to podcasts like this, and to develop ourselves more.
Yeah, I'll leave you with just one final thought, which is the thing of delayed gratification. I think that's the one thing. Like if you wanna get to whatever you want, and in any sector that you want, call it relationship, business, studies, whatever, is mastering the skill of delayed gratification, which he talks about a lot in the book and other people talk about it, which is do the effort and delay the thing. If you can wait for the result a year, is not as if you're gonna wait for it for a week, or if you expect the result in a week. is not the same as a year. It's not the same as 10 years. It's not the same as never achieving the goal. And with that, you just, if you master that skill, you can get into whatever you want, put in the effort, get the job done, do the things that needs to be done, and then let the gratification come from
Yes.
that. Thank you so much for being here. It was really nice to chat with you. Yeah, it was a really nice read, and you helped me refresh. I think with that, yeah, we did that for all ourselves, like refresh the ideas and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up the habits again and try to see where I can go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank
It
you
was
so
fun.
much.
It was fun. It was fun. Thank you.
Thank you.